Hey Devon staff, just wanted to reach out to you through a short video so we can touch on a couple of issues. I know with all of our busy schedules, it'd be kind of hard for us all to get together, so I thought this might be the best way to talk about some things that I think we need to talk about here as we begin the season. I know it's been kind of a rocky start with the new management and a new system to learn as far as scheduling and checking in time wise. I appreciate all of you who have just kind of hung in there. I know a lot of you are working more hours than you thought you would be at this point in the year, and that's been mainly due to some low staffing issues. But so I appreciate the extra effort that you've been putting in. Do want to let you know that CPM is in the process of hiring some additional staff for us. So hang in there at the beginning here, and those long hours that you're putting in now, we should be able to make some adjustments and ease up on those so that you have time off like you've had in the past if you've worked for UA before as a lifeguard. Just a couple of issues. If you're still having ATK issues, please contact Nicole through an email and maybe carbon copy me on that email as well. Make sure that you write down the hours for those days and shifts that anytime you work and you had an ATK issue, because I have to email Nicole on those. And it's helpful if everybody at the pool writes down those hours on the same sheet. And please make sure you put the date down on that sheet. There's been a couple times that I've been given sheets in my drawer that didn't have dates on them. So please make sure the date is on there. That's very helpful. Also, as far as schedules, now that when to work is pretty much set as far as having the correct shifts on it, the schedules that are on there for the next week or so are pretty much going to be the set schedules for the rest of the summer. So morning guards, those hours that you see on there when you're scheduled to work is pretty much going to be your hours for the rest of the summer. Likewise, afternoon, same thing. So remember, now the exceptions to that is there's some people here at the beginning that are taking vacations and have some time off, and so I've had to flip-flop some people and put some subs in slots. But other than that, those shifts are pretty much set for the summer. So if you know that you have a vacation planned, begin like looking for subs and getting those subs to fill those slots as soon as possible. Speaking of which, vacation and time off. Remember, all of you signed a contract that said you understand that you get 7 days off during the summer. So some of you are full-time and have taken more than that, but remember, contract-wise, it says that you get 7 days. So when people start taking more than 7 days, it's a burden that has to be shouldered by the rest of the staff. So that means additional hours for the rest of the staff. The subs, it seems like the list that I was given, we've only got about a half a dozen subs for our pool and Reed Road as of right now. Again, they're in the process of hiring more people. So just be conscious that when you take more than 7 days off, that affects the schedule and that affects the amount of work that everybody else has to do. So if you can avoid doing that, that would be great. The other big issue that we need to talk about is consistency, and in several areas. The first big one is scanning. My comment on the very first day that we opened was, I wasn't going to be really pushing this new scanning technique that we all learned from the new management company as long as you were doing a scanning technique. But as I've sat out and watched the guards, I really have not observed too many guards that are using any kind of scanning. So I've talked to the other two assistant managers, and we've all agreed that we want you to start using the new scanning technique that you've learned through the videos as of today. So we're going to be out on the deck looking for that doing guard audits to make sure you're doing that. That's what we want to do. I understand. I mean, I sat in the chair one day this week because we were short guards, and I understand that sometimes in your zone, hey, you don't have anybody that's maybe to the left. So why should you be scanning over there? Well, because it gets you in the habit of doing this regular scan. And if you're doing the scan anyway with between 15 and 20 seconds to do your scan of your entire zone, then you're still hitting all the people in your zone in that 20-second window. So we can tell that you're doing the scan. That's what we want you to do. We're going to be checking for it. So please, all lifeguards should be doing that scan. Another area that we can improve on and be better and more consistent is in rule enforcement. For example, in the diving bay, remember, and these rules, all these rules are written on the posted rule boards that we have up. So if you ever have a question about whether something is a rule or not, go over and read the rule boards that are there. There's the rules for the entire pool right when you come in. So if you're a new guard and you haven't looked at those, I would suggest that you read through those so that you're familiar with them. So diving bay. Remember, patrons get one bounce on the boards. Beyond that, it becomes a safety issue. They can easily slip off the board. The worst injury I've ever seen working at the pool for 15 years now was at the diving bay where somebody slipped on the board and injured their leg. So one bounce and one bounce only, and then they go off the boards. Remember, there's been confusion about flips off the boards. Patrons are allowed to do flips. The rules on the rule board states that patrons are allowed to do flips as long as they're, if you determine that they're skilled. If you determine that they're an inexperienced diver and it looks like it's a safety issue, they shouldn't be doing flips. Blow your whistle at them. In talking with one of the lifeguards that's worked at Devon for a while now, I understand that last year there was a rule enforced that when the daycares were there, because so many kids were inexperienced, the rule that was applied was when the daycare was there, nobody is allowed to do any flips off the boards. And that makes a lot of sense to me if you have a large number of individuals, day campers who are inexperienced. But that was only during those times, and I think there was some confusion, and some guards were thinking, oh, well then nobody's allowed to do any flips at any time, and that's not the case. So again, use your common sense and good judgment. If you feel like it's a swimmer and a patron who is inexperienced, blow your whistle at them, explain the rule that it's a safety issue. If there's a problem, just get a manager. That's what we're there for, and we'll deal with it. But otherwise, let's enforce that rule. If they're experienced, it's fine. If they're inexperienced, you're blowing your whistle. When the day camps are there, we'll apply the rule that no flips are allowed at all. Okay. Another one is flotation devices. Remember, and again, this is just common sense. If you see individuals that are using a flotation device, kids, they shouldn't be jumping on the flotation device from the edge of the pool. Common sense, again, that can flip out and hit somebody in the head or in the face. So no jumping on them. The only time flotation devices aren't allowed, like rafts and whatnot, is if the pool is really, really busy and then it becomes an issue where it makes it more difficult for you to see because they're laying on this big raft. And then so there's been times where we've asked people to take them out. But otherwise, they're allowed. Kids, again, with flotation devices like the water wings aren't allowed in the deep areas in the 8-foot and whatnot. And the last area that we need to be a little more consistent on is cleaning. There's been a couple times I've come in the morning in the pool and bathrooms have really not been cleaned like they should be. So please make sure that you are doing a good job of cleaning the bathrooms. Those are obviously high volume areas where we need to be making sure we're doing a deep cleaning every single night. And throughout the day, we want to continue to do those bathroom checks on the hour. Please make sure you check them. Actually, check to make sure the toilets are flush. If something is dirty and needs to be cleaned, please clean it as part of your check. If something, toilet paper needs to be refilled, paper towel, whatever, please do that. And what I'll do is I'll have for evening guards, afternoon and evening guards, I'll put up a regular rotation for cleaning. So the same person is not getting stuck with like bathrooms every day. So we'll have that up this week, and please follow that. So I think that's it again. I think we're off to a little bit of a rocky start, but a good start. Thanks for all your help. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to talk to myself or any of the other managers. You can email me, text me, give me a call, or if you see me at the pool, let's just have a face-to-face conversation. So thanks, and look forward to having a good rest of the summer with you.